Hey guys, Sam here. I just want to give a quick update on the Impala. I was trying to get this lower valance installed and the grill kind of mocked up to make sure everything was going to work, and I ran into a little problem. Um, the headlight buckets and the brackets don't want to line up correctly. So these brackets go in here. They have, when I put everything together, they have a little bit of an angle to them, like everything needs to move over towards the driver's side to straighten everything up. Um, but I noticed that these brackets do have a little bit of an, I don't know if I can get it on camera, a little bit of an angle here, so they don't really sit flat up against the support. They do have some sort of angle so the headlight bucket can go in. Anyways, I was having trouble lining everything up. This side wouldn't go in, so I decided to measure the original lower valance, and come to find out, which this is my fault, I should have measured all these holes before you painted. This is an aftermarket part. The hole from this edge here to the center of this hole was 14 here, but on the original one it's about 14 and a half. From the edge here to the center of these holes are about 14 and a half. And that was my fault for not measuring anything here. I just assumed everything was correct. So there you go on aftermarket parts. When you get something, make sure you measure everything, all your alignment holes and all that. So that's part of the reason I couldn't get this to line up correctly. Another reason is this radiator core support needs to go shift towards the driver's side a little bit. Not much, just some. I mean, the holes are large enough down there to line up and get bolts in there. But I'm having trouble on the fender well down here. So I'll get the camera on this part here. This hole's not lining up with my support. And another thing that tells me it needs to shift this way is when I get the grill on, or not the grill, but the brackets bolted onto the lower valance. Like I said, it doesn't quite look right or line up, in other words. So what I determined is that the radiator, this aftermarket radiator, this radiator is from Cocase. And again, this was my fault because they do sell a radiator that will actually has a notch on the radiator so it won't hit your power steering pump. Well, when I got this and installed it, it's hitting right here on the edge. And I said, well, I had put the card together before I painted it, and I said, yeah, I can make this work. It's going to be touching there just a little bit, but I think it'll work. Well, eventually, probably over time, it's going to rub a hole in that radiator because the vibration and stuff. So I don't know if the phone camera's picking it up, but right up there at the top, it's hitting here. And also, it's not letting it come. The radiator core support needs to push over towards the driver's side just a little bit, so it's not letting it go anymore that way. And then I noticed too that the radiator looks like it's instead of sitting more straight, it's a little bit leaning in. Well, it's because it's hitting over there in the bottom of the power steering pump box. So again, wrong radiator. Should have got the one with the notch on it, which would have allowed it to tilt back this way a little bit and then push my support over. I think that's my problem on all this lining this up. I still have not cut and buffed the car. That's my next step, but I was curious to make sure if I could get this all lined up where I could just assemble the grill assembly and slide it in. What I'm using is the old grill, putting it together. I'm going to put it together, assemble it, and then just slide it in to line everything up. That way, when I assemble the new one, I'm not damaging the new one. I have a new one like this, that I bought on eBay. It's a new old stock. Okay, I had to put it on pause there for a minute. Anyways, what I was saying, I think I need to get another radiator. And I have not cut and buffed the car yet. I was trying to get this together. Now, as far as these holes, I'm just gonna have to drill them a little bit bigger here, and maybe use a washer underneath. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's already painted. Hate to. Another option would be to fix this original one here and paint it, but I think I'll be fine there with just making those holes bigger. It's not really going to be seen. The bumper covers a lot of that up. It's just another mess up. Anyways, other than that, everything was lining up pretty good. I got pretty good gaps over there in the fenders. I'm gonna have to redo all that, take everything apart again. Pretty good consistent gap here. I still got to take this run out. I started working on some of the runs that I had on the other side, which I think were 2 on the other side. Knocked it down, so it's going to be ready to buff out. This is not lined because the doors are not shutting, or are shutting. It's not shut all the way. Anyways, I did put the rubbers seals on the door. I got my latch on, my assembly for door handle to work the latch and everything. Doors work great. That one's still a little stiff as far as the rubber, but it does shut. Oh, actually, I have some weights in this door. I put weights in there to weigh it down. But anyways, go the other side. That one's still a little stiff on the seal and the rubber. But this one has been installed the wall and shuts good. If I can get it open here. So the seal is on, latch is on, door handle works over there. But if I nice and solid, it still has to slam it a little bit, but not much. When I first put the seals on, man, I didn't think this door was just going to close it. Let's see if I can get it open again. When I first put the rubber seal, I mean, it was like right here, and I had to force that door to even hit that part. And so I let it set like that for a couple days, came back, ran a heat gun around that rubber a little bit just to warm it up, shut the door, let it sit for about 4 days, 3 or 4 days, and it seemed like it worked out. Stiff there, see. Have to slam it still a little bit, so they're still working themselves in. But that part's done. Got a pretty good consistent gap here. So everything's looking good there except for this. So back to the drawing board. I got to take everything apart again and start over on the front end. I did purchase some new horns. The horns that were on the 60 on this one, couldn't get them to work. Wired them up, they wouldn't honk. So these are OER horns, and they do work. I did test them already. So it goes here in the grill. Alright guys, just thought I'd give you a quick update. Once I drain that radiator, get it off and pull it out, I'm going to see if everything lines up, pushes over to this side, and then go from there. And then probably, you know, it's getting to where you can't do much painting. I've got a few miscellaneous parts here and there that I need to paint. They're small parts. But really the weather's not allowing me to do that, so I'm going to start sanding the quarter panel, doing a cut and buff. Like I said, I've got all the materials, the buffing pads, a buffer, everything I've bought already. I just need to get to do it. Need to get to doing it. One other thing, I did measure this filler panel to the original one. It does measure from end to end. It measures 68 from this point of the corner to this point on the corner, 68 inches overall. But I can definitely tell you these holes were not drilled where this one is here. The holes are about 14 and a half, 14 and 5/8 from the corner to the center of that hole. Same thing on this side. All right, thanks for watching, and just a small update.